Hey, this is Mike with CoachMePlus. I'm going to walk you through really quickly how to set up some test sets within the program builder. So you can do this within a library circuit. You can also edit the circuit on a program day and get to this screen either way and set up some test sets. So test sets are going to be something that you can utilize to either just establish a true 1 rep max to work towards. You can also estimate off of a 3 or 5 rep max test using our auto-calculated Landers equation within the back end of the system that will estimate a 1 rep max for you to then calculate loads off of. You can also use it in a similar style of APRE, where you can have one earlier set be a test set and then base the following sets off of that. So it's entirely how you want to work with it. But we're going to start off here by talking about the difference between an exercise baseline and a shared baseline. I'm going to have one exercise, this barbell back squat, attached to a shared baseline, which means this baseline, when updated, can be applied to other exercises within the system. The exercise baseline, which I'll apply to this barbell deadlift, can only be applied to this barbell deadlift. So for example, if I have a shared baseline on barbell back squat, I can reference that on a front squat and take a certain percentage of that and assign it. If I have an exercise baseline on our barbell deadlift, I can only reference that on my barbell deadlift, this exact exercise. It applies just to that. So that's the difference between those two. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set test sets up. So I have just a normal 4 sets of 3, no weight applied quite yet to this, and I want to hit edit and say edit tests. So I can either do it right here and just say which set on here is going to be a test set. I can also go through set progressions and go ahead and say, hit the options, edit tests, and again, same thing. I can say I want, second set to be a test set. As a coach, you'll see this clipboard. It means this is a test set, and then you assign it. So if you assign a true 1 rep max, whatever that athlete says their load is for that specific rep, that's going to be their baseline. If you have a 3, a 4, a 5, whatever it is, that athlete entered weight will be then estimated using the NSC Landers equation to estimate their true, or estimate whatever their 1 rep max might be or could be based on the Landers equation. And then in this case, this is just a test set. These are just weight entries, so they're not going to calculate off of that. So moving on over here, I have a barbell deadlift. I'm just going to change the properties really quickly to weight and show you the choices between the shared and an exercise baseline. So I'm going to change the properties back, 1 rep max, and I can say use shared baseline, and I can select from a list of shared baselines that I have in the system, or if I leave this unchecked, it's an exercise baseline, and it applies to just this. And then the same thing, I could go about and say edit tests, say maybe I want number 2 or number 1. You can have multiples if you'd like to be that test set. That keyboard shows up. Now, since these are percentages, so say, I want 5 by 80% of whatever I've established up on this, I can go ahead and do so. And if I want to make it easier for myself, I can just do this once and then say, all right, I want 4 sets of that. And then whatever is estimated on this athlete entry, so the percentage here doesn't matter because it's a test set. So the athlete's going to enter a load on this test set for 5 reps. It's going to calculate an estimated 1 rep max that the system will then take 80% of for the following 4 sets. Okay, so that is how this works. That's how the test sets work. Once I save that, I can see as a coach where my test sets are established within the workout. The athlete won't see the clipboard, but their entry on those sets will then save a baseline in the back end, in the background, I should say, that can be utilized throughout your programming. And again, this one being a shared exercise baseline of barbell back squat. I applied a different baseline to this, so I can see what baseline I'm editing. So I'm going to change the properties again. I'm going to use a shared baseline, and then here's my list. I wanted to edit my barbell back squat, save, and I'm away I go. I'm happy with what that may be, and I then have my test sets established within the system. So I hope this helps moving forward, getting some test sets set up and establishing baselines on exercises.